And in your conference, you actually launched the product, which you call the Billionaire Interior Design Alliance.
Yes.
What's that about? And I saw you said you want to make the young entrepreneurs or those who were passionate about being interior designers, billionaires. Please, how would that work? Because maybe I should actually I should register as an interior designer.
Okay, I think for me, like I said, interior design is no more interior design. It's more like, I think I'm a minister in my industry.
Welcome to Omon's Couch, an entrepreneurship and career talk show where we'll help young entrepreneurs and professionals reach their full potential. My name is Omon, your darling host, and I'll be bringing you amazing guests who have seen it all to educate and inspire you with their beautiful stories. Let's go! Our guest today wears multiple hats as a wife, mother, interior designer, coach, and author. And with a degree in commercial interior design, business and branding from Interior Design Institute, UK, she taught over 400 interior designers to build profitable businesses. Her brainchild, Jenniez School of African Interior Design, fills the education gap in the industry by empowering entrepreneurs to build their businesses through design. Her influence also spans authoring, manufacturing, and hosting Nigeria's largest interior design conference called the Blueprint Conference. She was recently recognized as the top 100 most influential young leader in Africa 2021 and is the current president of the Interior Designers Association of Nigeria, Eden. She's none other than Mrs. Jennifer Chukwujekwe. Let's welcome her to Omon's Couch. Hi Jennifer, it's great to see you.
Same here.
You look amazing as always.
You look amazing too.
Please have a seat.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you,
Same
Jennifer.
here. Thank you for having me.
And I'm so happy you're able to make it. I know you have a very tight schedule, but you're able to come here and support your sister.
For you. Anything for you.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
So I'm sure our viewers are here very excited to have Jennifer on my couch today, on Omon's Couch to be precise. And we can't wait to hear from you, how you share your wealth of wisdom for us to listen. And you know, interior design is one part of, something I personally like because I love designing things, but personally, not for the public. So it's going to be a very good and interesting show today. Looking at your profile, looking at everything you have done, we'd like you to share a brief overview of your journey, starting from when you started the interior design business into your school and every other aspect of it. It'll be very interesting for us to understand and know the woman behind the brand.
Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so I started like over a decade ago. It didn't start off as a business. I didn't even know I had a passion for interior design.
Okay.
I was doing other things, so don't even ask me. I did a lot of things. But it just took having friends come over to my house and saying, I like your place.
Oh.
Did you hire someone? And I'm like, no, I did it myself. Yeah, so the question kept on coming, so why not start that as a profession? And I was like, interior design. So it just didn't resonate with me.
So before then, what were you thinking of doing?
No, so I actually have an IT background.
Oh, IT background.
Yes, so
it turned into interior design.
Yes.
This is interesting.
So I was just playing in my own IT field and all that. So I didn't even, it wasn't even something that I thought I would ever do. It never came up. I just loved dining spaces or changing my house or the way it looked. It was just something I loved doing. So it came to me naturally. So I had friends always asking me, so I'll help them. I don't take money for it and all that. And when I realized that a lot of people were asking, I said, okay, fine, let me start a blog. So I actually started with a blog, but it was an interior design blog. So I was blogging on interior design, how to design your home, how to design your space. And I was shocked. People were actually asking questions.
Okay.
Oh, how do I do this? What color do I? And I'm like, oh, okay. So there's actually a market for it. So I had to research, find out about it, and I actually went to study interior design.
Oh,
yeah,
so
I studied.
You just changed, if you left your tech business or your tech profession and went into interior design.
Yes.
Just
yes.
because somebody said they loved what you do.
Yeah.
Would you say you discovered yourself in interior design?
Yes, I discovered myself, yes. And thanks to friends, actually, because, you know, sometimes you might just be, you think you're in a particular part, not realizing you should be on another part. So thanks to those friends who were able to, like, push me, actually, because they actually pushed me. And that's how that started, so, yeah.
So what was the pivotal moment that changed your idea from being a tech person? I mean, just one singular pivotal moment that changed your mindset from being a tech entrepreneur into being an interior design, and also setting up the Jenniez School of African Interior Designers in Nigeria.
Okay, so before I transitioned to interior design fully, so there was a time my son was 5, and I love to work, so I'm a workaholic. So it started with headaches.
I think every woman.
Yeah, every woman, we don't know when to stop,
Yes.
right? Yeah, so it started with headaches and all that. Until one morning I just woke up and I was trying to get the kids ready for school, and I just realized that I was mixing things up. So I was trying to put cereal in a bowl. I was pouring it on the floor. And my husband walks in and says, so what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to put the Cocoa Pops into the bowl.
No, I don't understand. You're trying to get your children for school.
Yes.
And you're preparing cereal.
Yes.
And you're pouring cereal, so pouring it in a bowl, you're pouring it on the floor.
Yes. But
so what was that about?
So my mind was telling me at that point that the issue was the cereal. So I changed Cocoa Pops and I took another one. And I was like trying to pour it, and I was still pouring it on the floor. My husband kept saying, why are you pouring it on the floor? I'm like, no, it's the Cocoa Pops. It doesn't want to
go into the bowl. Wow.
Yeah.
What was going on?
At that point, I didn't even realize, but I think my husband he panicked. So he called my brother, because my brother was staying with us at that time. I was like, come and see your sister. And from what they now told me after that, I was calling my brother, my husband, I was calling my husband, my brother. So at that point, they just picked me up and took me to the hospital. So it happened that I just had a stroke.
You had a stroke?
Yes.
From what exactly?
So...
Oh, let me allow you to continue your story. You had a stroke.
Yeah.
Were you already an interior designer, or you're just working with tech?
I was just working, but I'd already discovered my passion, but I hadn't gone into interior design fully. Okay. Yeah. So I got to the hospital. So after that, it was just, well, thank God I got better, but I had memory loss for just a period of time. All I could remember at that point in time was my son's 5th birthday. So I kept saying, who's going to do his party park? Who's going to do his party park? So they had to take me out of the hospital again because I insisted I wanted to be there. So they took me out of the hospital. I got my cousin to arrange everything, and immediately I was sure that my son was okay for his birthday. Then that was it.
What was it?
As in crisis, as in I just, yeah.
Oh,
so I couldn't move.
You became very sick?
Yes, I became very sick.
That's your stroke?
Yes, so it now became worse.
Oh, your stroke became worse?
Yes, it became worse. So I couldn't move my hand,
for how long?
It's for like 6 months.
6 months?
For like 6 months, yes.
I mean, I think a lot of people who start off businesses or your career wouldn't know that you can actually develop a stroke just by doing what exactly? Were you stressed? Were you sick? Were you overworking yourself?
So mine was, I was stressed, then my cholesterol level was very high.
Oh, your cholesterol level was high.
My cholesterol level was high. I didn't even realize it. So, and then I used to think that cholesterol was for people on the big side.
Exactly. But I still think so.
Yeah,
but I hear you can be very skinny, but your cholesterol can be over the roof.
Yeah, so that's what happened. So I had to change my diet. They had to go for physio because of I couldn't move then I couldn't I had to, if I need to move my entire body, as in I couldn't move my neck. Yeah, I had to move my entire body.
So you went through the entire healing process of stroke.
Yeah.
How many years ago was this? Because you look so amazing now.
Thank you.
We thank God for that.
Thank you. My son is 15 now, so he was 5, so that was 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so you said that was one of the pivotal moments whereby you transitioned from the tech industry to interior design. So how did that shape that? So in what sense exactly?
So for me, it was like a wake-up call. It was more like,
you wanted to do something for yourself?
Yeah, would you just come to the world and say this? They would just say she came, she had the child, or she had kids, and she died.
Wow.
There was really, there was no impact, there was nothing. So for me, it was like a second chance to do something. And since I discovered my passion for interior design, so that didn't feel like work because it just came to me naturally. So it was good for me to just start that. So I started that.
So something you really loved and you
yeah.
felt that you could actually impact people through interior design.
Yes. So
interesting.
That's it.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah.
So what has been your mindset? What would you say would have contributed to the mindset that you have or your values that has actually pivoted you into the space where you are to be a very successful interior designer as well as a coach and even an author? So what would you say
I think
those
for
values
me,
that you have?
So for me, it's passion, excellence, and excellence and collaboration.
Collaboration.
So those are the three values that drive me. In whatever I do, I'm very passionate. And I always tell people, if you're passionate about something, when you're working, it doesn't feel like work. So if you're passionate about something, you go all the way. And even if you're not making money initially, it keeps you. So passion keeps you, actually.
Is passion not overrated?
I don't think
because everybody says passion.
But I think it's passion.
And if you listen to the everyday person on the street who hasn't started any business, you find that that word actually irritates them. Because they feel everybody who is successful just keeps on saying on the screen, oh, I'm passionate about this. Please explain to me, how does that work really?
I think passion has a lot to play because...
You can't underestimate it.
No, you can't. Because if I wasn't passionate about what I do, there are times where artisans would drive me crazy.
Oh, yes.
There are times where clients would drive...
I think that's one of the reasons why we wouldn't even go there.
Clients would come, as in you have all sorts of clients. Artisans would drive you crazy. The economy is not favorable. So there are times you're like, do you know what, you might just want to stop. But the truth is, passion is what will keep you there.
Keep you going, even in the tough times.
So I've seen interior designers who have started out, and after some time, they're like, do you know what, I can't do this.
For real?
Yes. So for me, those are not the ones that are passionate. If you're passionate, you're there. So even when we come back and we complain and all that, we're still there. So I think that's what keeps us, and that's what will keep keeping me in the industry, and that's what I think everyone should dwell on, as in passion is very important.
I'm sure you're enjoying this episode already. I would like you to take a moment to please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your aha moments in the comment section below. We would love to engage with you. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, I'm going to go back to your story about having a stroke, something you didn't even plan. How has that affected your life? I mean, it's people who are working, what would you say? Because we can't overlook that story you just shared. It's something extremely serious. How do we plan, or how do we prepare ourselves or take care of ourselves so we don't get there? Because you must have had some learnings. You must have had, I mean, there must have been something the doctors mentioned to you. You shouldn't have done this, or you should have done that. What were the learnings from that experience? A terrible experience for that matter.
I think for me, it's intentionality. For me, it opened up my eyes to understanding, so like as a married woman, I know that I need to be very intentional in terms of balancing home and business.
Work,
the kids, the same thing, I have to also be very intentional because what if, God forbid, something happened and that's it, right? So intentionality was very important to me, or is still very important to me. Then also having the right support system. So sometimes I tell people it doesn't have to be family. Sometimes you can outsource it. So just have the right support system, then understanding your body. Once I know that I'm exhausted, there is nothing you can do. I'll shut down. And I'm so bad that even when I'm in the office and I've shut down, and my team come and say, excuse me, I want to tell you something, I'm like, I'm not here. Like I've zoned out. So
do they listen?
They listen. So once I say I'm not here, I'm zoned out. And they're like, okay, she's not here. Like you'd see me, but I'm like,
I know.
I'm zoned out.
And they know your story?
No, they know my story. So they just go away. They just go away. Because the thing is, as a creative, I need to even be in that space. So if I'm not in that space...
contribute meaningfully to...
So if I'm exhausted or I can't, then that's it. There's nothing I can do and all that. So yes, so being intentional, having the right support system, keeps me going.
You've been able to maintain resilience through it all, and you've been able to adapt to all the things that have been happening to you, as well as even the good stuff too. What would you advise the young entrepreneurs who are going into this field of interior design?
First, be consistent. Just keep doing what you're doing. People are watching. people are watching, because sometimes you might just be doing everything and you think you're working so hard and nobody, yeah, people are actually watching. And that's why I tell people, and that's one of the reasons I think I also became the president of the association. I was doing my thing. I didn't know people were watching. I started a school, I was holding conferences, I was doing everything interior design. So everything I do is interior design. So people were watching. So when it got to the time where they needed someone
pick a leader.
Yes, it just happened. And for me, it was
you didn't have to lobby for the position.
I didn't have to lobby. The story is even very funny. I didn't have to lobby for it. Someone just approached me and asked me, would I be interested? It never was a thought in my head. And I said, okay, let me think about it. Then I came back and said, okay, I'm interested. And the person said, so what position would you like to go for? And I said, president.
Beautiful.
So the person was shocked.
The president of Eden?
Yes.
Or is it Eden?
Eden, yeah.
Eden,
yeah. And the person was shocked, like, I said you should pick a position, you're picking the president.
Exactly.
And
Why would you want to be a member?
Yeah. But for me, it's more like, I've been doing things in the industry.
Yeah.
Even with my own resources.
Earned that honor.
Yeah. So
and you deserve it.
Funny enough, when I actually said president, I wasn't even too serious about it, actually. I was just like...
You know, sometimes things are fate.
Yes.
Destiny. Yes. And they all come together at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I think that's what just happened. And when I won, I think I was somewhere doing a COVID test. Because I was just not... Yeah. And when people started calling me. So for me, it's just more like...
you're not even in the place where they were doing the election?
No, I did my election and I went away.
Okay, you left, okay.
And I continued, like...
Your life.
My life, yeah. Until people started calling me and all that. But what I'm trying to say, basically, just be you. Just do you. Be consistent.
Don't bother about whether people are watching or not. Because somehow they're watching.
They're watching. Especially on Instagram, they're watching. They might not like, they might not comment.
Exactly.
But they're there.
For the silent watchers.
Yes, they're there. So just be consistent in what you do and you'll get to that place that you want to actually get to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of our viewers who are young entrepreneurs, young interior designers, would like to know how they can start. Do they require a lot of capital? What do they actually need to set up an interior design company in Nigeria?
First, you need passion.
Back to our passion, okay?
Yes. You need passion, because if you're not passionate about interior design, I don't think you can. Nah.
There are just too many things.
Yeah,
too many running paths or working paths.
No, it has to be passion. It has to be passion. And those are the criteria that we look out for. So even if you have a BSc or a master's and you want to study with us, there's certain questions we'll ask you to know if you actually have a passion for interior design. Yeah. So passion is...
don't waste your time.
No, that's it, right? So passion is one. And then get a formal education.
A formal education.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't just, because you have a passion, you think you can just start doing
anything.
There's no difference between you and the guy in Yaba. Like, seriously. So you actually have to have a proper formal education that will stand you out from the rest. Then, with that, you can now launch your business. But in terms of capital, you don't even necessarily need an office.
Okay.
So once
it can be virtual.
Yeah, it can be virtual, because most clients will actually tell you to come to their space. So they are not coming to your space. So if you're going to go for a consultation, you're going to the client's space. So you don't necessarily need an office.
So what you're saying is that they can learn, apart from their formal education in school, whatever course they read, they should also go to read something on interior design. Yes. Aside from your Jenniez School of African Interior Design, is there any other place for them to learn? Because everybody can come to Lagos to learn your course or the interior design program.
Well, unfortunately, in Nigeria, we do not have any university that teaches interior design. So they would still have to come
to you.
Yes, or go for the online course. We have online courses, so that you do online courses.
Okay, you also have online courses.
Yes, we do online courses, so you can do online courses.
Far-reaching.
Yes, you can do online courses, and that's one of the reasons I started the school, because there was no university teaching it.
So it was a gap that you
that was
needed
a gap,
to fill.
Yes.
How many years? I think, 7 years.
Now.
Yes, actually 7 years this year.
7, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so for us, it was more like a way of bridging the gap in interior design education in Nigeria, because what happens to people like us who are passionate and want to take it further, but there's nowhere to go to.
I hope you've heard. You better go to our school. So how many people have you successfully graduated? And do you get to monitor their progress as they move on?
Okay, I think in over 7 years, we should have done close to 500.
500 entrepreneurs,
500, yes,
that you have trained?
Yes, we have. And We actually also work in partnership with Lagos State Government.
Okay.
So where we more like skill acquisition.
Okay.
So where we empower women who have a passion for interior design but can't afford to go to an interior design school.
So the Lagos State Government actually sponsors them.
Yes,
That's
so they
fantastic.
sponsor. Yeah, so they sponsor them, and we also get grants because for me it's so interior design
So
for me has evolved.
How did you curate the program? Is it international or the blend of international and local curriculums?
Okay. Yeah, so it's a blend of international. So our curriculum is actually international curriculum, although we infuse a bit of Africa into it, so that we can,
Africa.
Yes,
Okay.
Africa. So you understand how design is done in our own part of the world because it's kind of different from the other parts.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so we infuse that.
And I'm sure that has to do with a lot of textures,
Texture,
what we
yes.
like,
Yes.
the colors, the vibrance, and everything.
The kind of things Nigerians like
Yes,
is
we like
different.
Vavavoom.
Thank you. It's different from the usual. So yes, so we have a combination of both curriculum and all that. However, for us, interior design has evolved. For me, it's not just about teaching people how to design homes or spaces. It's more like transforming lives and businesses. So for me, it's a deeper sense of purpose where we're empowering women to have
Just women? This program is just for women?
It's for women, yeah. I know the
No
men are
problem.
complaining,
I
but yeah. The men are complaining. However, I feel that it's a female-dominated industry.
Exactly.
It's women that understand how the home should be,
And
how
it's
should
women
look
that
like.
actually, style their homes, whichever budget they have.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's more tailored to the women. And I found that it's also helped us to empower women. We've had a mix of women who are having challenges in their homes, or single mothers, or young girls who are trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Yeah, so interior design is just a channel in which they're able to express themselves and
actually make money
at
too.
the end of the day. Yeah, so for me, it's
Well done. Beautiful story. I'm in for anything empowering women, anytime, any day. You actually had the conference in October,
Yes,
not too long
please.
ago, which was the 5th edition of your Blueprint Conference.
Yes.
And there was something beautiful and different about this conference. You had a dual synergy of both the interior designers in Nigeria as well as the real estate developers. How did you come about this wonderful idea? And what were you seeking to achieve from it?
Okay, so if you remember what you asked me about my values, collaboration. So I still go back to my values. So it became necessary for us to come together. I find that
I
most,
think so.
yes.
I think so. If you have built a house before, and it's always a struggle.
Yes.
It looks like the developers are always fighting with the interior. No, the interior designers are always fighting with developers because there's nowhere to put what they had planned to do originally.
Yeah, but the truth is, they need to understand that we're a marriage made in heaven. We need to work together.
The synergy is a clean one.
Yeah, so what happens most times is developers call us, they don't even call us. It's a client that calls us at the end of the project. Yeah, at the end of the project. So what happens is we come into the space and we have to redesign again.
Sometimes you have to break.
Thank you.
And break and break.
And I'm like, why? And someone has spent a lot of money on this property and still has to change the tiles, still has to change the ceiling.
Even as changing the entire tiles.
Yes, people go as far as changing the cabinets, the kitchen, so it doesn't make any sense.
What's the point?
Yeah, do you understand? But I think we've settled the issue at the conference.
That's just one conference.
Yeah.
But that would not settle anything.
Yeah, but at least we're talking about it now.
The talks,
yeah,
yes.
and funny enough, the experience.
And I think people are opening up the idea.
Yes, and funny enough, the experience was very interesting because when we came up with it, it was more like, finally. So apparently, developers were also struggling.
Yes,
they needed
because
help.
They were tired of having to rebuild what they have built already.
And delaying of projects and stuff like that. So a project that should take 12 months is taking 18 months. Because another thing is we all share the same issues. So we all use the same artisans.
In the industry?
In the industry, because the developer is still using the painter. He's still using the carpenter. Do you get? We're still using the same people. So the question now is, we don't even have enough skilled people to do this. Do you understand? So can we all come together and figure out how we can train skilled artisans who are able to... Yes.
So it's beyond just even working together to sort out your own differences.
Yes, differences.
But now the artisans are very few.
Yes.
Wow.
To give us the quality that we desire. And that's the only way real estate. And the truth about real estate is it won't even stop. Like it's growing. And the more it's growing, how are they able to differentiate themselves? So for us, it's more like collaboration. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Join us on Omon's Couch, where inspiration meets action. If you're a remarkable entrepreneur or a career giant with a unique story to share, we want to hear from you. Become our guest on Omon's Couch and empower others with your journey, experiences, and valuable insight. Use the link provided in the description below to apply for yourself or nominate someone who deserves to be on this show. Let's inspire together. And in your conference, you actually launched the product which you call the Billionaire Interior Design Alliance.
Yes.
What's that about? And I saw you said you want to make the young entrepreneurs or those who were passionate about being interior designers, billionaires. Please, how would that work? Because maybe I should actually maybe I should register as an interior designer.
Okay, I think for me, like I said, interior design is no more interior design. It's more like, I think I'm a minister in my industry. That's the way I see myself. So I find that most interior designers...
The kingdom entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay.
So I find that most interior designers are getting projects, they're doing stuff, and may not even own their own properties. Or they can't even afford to own properties that they design for people.
For people, like the people are so happy and over the moon.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything to show.
They don't have anything to show. Or when they get projects or they get paid, they are using it for the little things like maybe buying a car, traveling, and they're not thinking about wealth creation and how to own stuff. So the alliance is such that we're able to first work on their mindset.
I was going to say it's a mindset thing.
It's a mindset.
Because when you're doing interior and you're just fixing other people, you never think of yourself.
Yeah.
Then that's horrible.
Yeah. So it's a mindset. You have to work on their mindset, and they have to understand that they can actually own homes like that, right? And now teach them how to grow and also get to that level. Yeah. So we're hoping to partner with developers where, in exchange for our services, so if we're working with developers, instead of you paying me, if the amount of money I'm going to get paid is enough for me to get a 2-bedroom apartment, then we can use that as a deposit for a 2-bedroom apartment. So that way it will encourage me to do more work. So the more I work, I'm acquiring property. I don't necessarily have to live in the property. I can own it. I can use it as an Airbnb or whatever it is. But that way, it would definitely make you as an interior designer want to do more and do your job properly.
Oh yeah, so that's actually like a marriage made in heaven, which you initiated. That between the developer and the interior design. So most of the properties they are developing, they already have off-takers in a sense.
Yes.
So that would be wonderful.
Yes. So I hope they all get on board.
Yes, I can imagine. I mean, I'm excited about it, so I can imagine how they will also feel. And there's something about 7. 7 is a special number to you. As a person, I'm sure you'll be surprised that I know that. So please just quickly, it's a fun part, just let us know how special 7, the number 7 is to you.
Okay, so for me, I was born in July.
Yes, which is the 7th month of the year.
My husband was born in July, 7th month of the year.
Oh, your husband too, okay.
Yes, July. I got pregnant in July.
Yes.
I got married in July. And I got married on the 7th of July in 2007.
You're joking?
Yes.
I got married in July.
Oh, wow.
July 7th. Are you serious?
Are you serious?
No, it's not 2007.
Wow.
I can't remember the year. Yes. 2001.
Now I see the connection.
I don't know.
Are you serious?
When is July 7th too?
Whoa.
Wow. You see, we need to work together.
Are you serious? Like I'm having like those people.
Are you serious?
Are you serious? Oh,
yes.
wow.
I never even knew that.
Wow.
I didn't.
Wow, that's good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, special people.
Yeah. And you also have 7 in the school.
Yeah, so we just turned 7. The school just turned 7 years. So so for me it's a year to celebrate. Normally I don't celebrate my school anniversary.
Why?
So I lost my dad on a year after I opened my school, on the same day of the anniversary.
Ooh.
Yeah, same day. So
it has put a shadow over that date for you.
Yeah. So
but it's a blessed thing.
Yeah, so I think it's now the
With time,
Because most times, once it's the anniversary, I either forget the date,
Oh, you're mourning.
or I'm mourning, or
Yeah.
I'm just not
good,
happy.
yeah.
Yeah. But this, funny enough, this 7th one, I was
7
excited.
is a special number,
Yes.
trust me.
Yes.
I
No,
know.
it is.
And you have also done something
Yeah.
again on the 7th. Are you so intentional picking 7? December 7th is your
Our industry night.
yes.
Do you know I didn't think of
You
it?
didn't think about it. Oh, trust me, I've done my homework.
Whoa.
December 7th is doing the
December 7th,
Aiden industry night to close the year.
Do you know I didn't think of
You
it?
didn't even, okay, so that means it was not intentional. I actually
wasn't
thought
intentional.
you took pick
So
that date.
No, so that means,
Everything has been on the 7th.
because it was meant to be actually be on the 8th, but because I heard there was experience, so I moved it to the 7th.
7. So that's God's purpose
That's
for
God.
you.
So anything
Interested.
7. Oh, wow.
Interested. So I'm going to ask you one of our last questions, and it's going to be, which one now? I think you have actually mentioned to our viewers or audience who want to do interior design the things they need, which they require. And I hope you got that. You mentioned passion is number one that would take you through that process. You don't necessarily need to have money. You just need to go to school to have your first degree. The second thing she mentioned is something to do with going to the interior design school so that you actually understand how it plays out both in the international market as well as in the local market. And of course, learning a skill is always a plus side to business. Then you actually talked about how people grow their business. You also talked about the problems you have faced, and one of them is your health. But you didn't talk about other things. What would be people really, the challenges of the business of interior design? Because God forbid, other people would not experience having a stroke or having a health issue. But what are the other problems that you face on a day-to-day basis running an interior design company?
Well, it still boils down to the same skilled artisans.
Oh, skilled artisans
having the right
is really,
skill,
really critical.
Skilled artisans. Then sometimes government policies.
Yes, I was going to say government
Policies.
But how does it affect you apart from taxes?
So, like the importation thing and all that, which I feel is also good, actually. I think it's time we now begin to think of local made in Nigeria. But the only thing is, for us to get good quality made in Nigeria, we still need the skilled artisans.
To process those materials. And I think the major material will be wood.
Wood, yes.
So how do you get to process? And very few companies in Nigeria
can actually
process wood.
Yes.
So that puts a premium on the price and the cost to the customer.
So that's I think that's the way forward. So maybe that's a plus for us, but we need to begin to think of made in Nigeria. How can we grow Nigeria? How can we? Because we have good wood.
Yes, we have the best wood that's ahead.
Yeah.
Far better than the Western world.
So how do we tap into that and make the best of it and actually export what we have? Yeah.
Interesting. I may be an interior designer very soon.
We don't mind.
Because I need to make that billion. You said we should come to your class, so please sign me up for the first 10 people who will go into that class.
No problem.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge. And I'm sure all our viewers have heard everything she had to say. And I think she didn't talk so much about the health part, but I think it's very critical that we take our health very seriously, even including myself. Life does not have any duplicate, as we all know. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to be intentional, especially we women. We feel we can do everything. We're always multitasking. As I'm talking to you, I'm actually talking to myself. We're doing this, we're doing that, taking care of the children, taking care of the homes, taking care of the school, taking care of so many things, your business, your husband, your family, extended family. But there's a time for us to slow down. We need to really slow down. We need to be intentional by taking care of ourselves, going to the hospital, doing our regular checkups. You do not underestimate that at all. Please let us take care of ourselves. Health is wealth. And wealth is wealth. Well, now we're going to the fun part of this episode. And so, are you ready for our trivia question?
I can't wait.
Okay, you better get it, Joe.
I hope so.
So the question goes like this. What is a single strand of spaghetti called? Did you get it? What is a single strand of spaghetti called? Spaghetti the food.
Spag.
Give you another trial. In fact, I didn't know that until I read this. A single strand. I felt it's spaghetti.
It's spaghetti.
It should be spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
But it's not. Let me give you the answer. The single strand of spaghetti is called spaghetto.
Oh, so everything is spaghetti.
One strand is spaghetto.
Spaghetti. I just learned that one today.
Yes,
I never knew about
every day
that.
we learn something.
Oh, wow.
I actually learned it today on this couch.
I'm going to go and use it once I leave here now.
Thank you so much for coming. We love you on the couch. And thank you so much for making our viewers excited today.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching Omon's Couch. I am sure you are eager for another inspiring story. So click here to watch another episode or click here to subscribe. I will see you in the next episode.